Welcome guys to a brand new video on Wuthering Waves. Now in today's video what I want to do is talk about the nightmare echoes that I prioritize in terms of you farming. Now I've already made a video going over guides in terms of tips and tricks to use when you're farming the nightmare echoes, which is going to be very helpful. One of the guides was to basically take advantage of this one's the guaranteed drop, every single week. Make sure you're only farming the nightmare echoes with this particular enhanced drop rate, and also using your food items that increases the drop rates of the echoes. Now those are very important guides, but now we need to talk about the particular nightmare echoes that I recommend you guys to farm. Now of course it entirely is based on your own account, okay, depending on the main DPSs you have. In my opinion, I recommend farming for your main DPSs first rather than your support DPSs. So for me, take a look at your accounts right now. I've summoned for every single character in the game, so I have every single unit. Now, because I have every single unit, I'm looking at the ones that actually require the new nightmare echoes. Let me quickly show you guys the ones. So if you're farming, actually wait, with this one, let me just quickly go over to Pridewin. I haven't checked for Zeshi actually. I know she can use the new set, but I don't know which full cost echo it is required. So let me just quickly check that up right now. There we go. Go over to build. I recommend using Pridewin. Okay. You still Hecate. Yeah, okay, never mind. You don't need to farm the nightmare echo for her. That's fine. So when it comes to the main DPSs that require the new nightmare echo, it's pretty much Camellia, Zhangli Yao. I could say she's not main DPS. We're not going to talk about her. We're going to talk about Yinlin as well. She requires the new set though. It's a little bit more expensive with farming the set for Yinlin and the full cost nightmare echo. So I would say if you're willing to spend a lot of time to do this, it is going to take you a while to get the perfect one for her. Anyways, Gion as well, and I believe that is it in terms of Kalcharo as well, but he's just not a character to build in my opinion. So there we go, he's just sitting there. Anyways, because I have all the main DPSs, I'm going to look at the ones that will benefit a lot more from having the nightmare echoes. I'm going to instantly say Camellia because her damage is crazy. So the nightmare echo from Camellia is pretty much this one over here, the nightmare crownless. Okay, and because of my method, actually both of using the tricks and tips and the guide I'm going over right now, I have managed to farm 2 out of the 3 echo sets or 4 nightmare echoes that I'm trying to get good sets for. I've actually just stopped farming crownless because I already have this amazing, look at this amazing substat. I've also done this trick with trying to get good one for GR as well. This is not the best, but for now this will do. In the future I will start improving on this, but this is fine as well, using this trick that I'm talking about right now, focusing on only 3 nightmare echoes, guys. Because when you're farming the nightmare echoes, basically what I did was, okay, I found the one that's most important to me, which was crownless. I did crownless, but because we have to wait 2 minutes for the next crownless to come up, the nightmare crownless, I went ahead and pretty much farmed this next. And then after that, I went over to this. So that's 3 nightmares I've just farmed. And then after that, by the time I've gotten to here, depending on how fast you can kill it, if you can kill it extremely fast, that even when you go back to crownless it's still not respawned, then you can now incorporate 4 new echoes. For me, 3 was fine. Like farming only 3 nightmare echoes was fine. But if you can actually farm a lot more, but then the one that is very important to you to farm is going to take a lot longer to actually get the good drops. So I only stuck with 3. So farm crownless, then I went to this, and then I went to this, and then by that time I went back to this, and then again doing the cycle all over again. So for me, I prioritize crownless first because Camellia will basically utilize this and be absolutely insane, and she's the best DPS, one of the best DPSs in the game, so she requires all the support I could give her. Now you don't need to do Gion next. I think Gion is a good character, but he's literally the only one that can really benefit from farming the nightmare echo. Now I only started working on Gion again because of the new tower we had, Tower of Adversity, but of course depending on how you prioritize Gion, you might say, okay, his nightmare echo is not that important for you. For me, I don't have to farm it anymore because I've got this. Okay, so I do think the Gion nightmare, the monkey nightmare is kind of important to farm. But another one that's very important, I think very important, because is the Tempest Mephis, because this one is going to be the one that takes you the longest to get good drops for, because out of all the echoes, nightmare echoes, this is the only one that can drop 2 different sets. So if you go over to the data bank, okay, and you take a look at the, there we go, so you can see that there we go, so this is the Tempest Mephis can be dropped for this set, the Imperium Anthem, and it can also drop for the Void Thunder. Now, because you're going to be trying to use Yinlin with this new particular set, you are pretty much aiming to get this. However, because you can actually use the Tempest Mephis for Zhang Li Yao, you can actually still use this as well. Now, Zhang Li Yao can actually use the Nightmare Tempest Mephis or the Thundering Mephis, the Nightmare one. Now, for me, I went with the Nightmare one for Zhang Li Yao. Future AC Gamer here. So when I was talking about the Nightmare Thundering Mephis and Nightmare Tempest Mephis, it's so hard to remember the names. Anyways, when I'm talking about those echoes, I think it's just better to farm both of them. So I'm gonna mention that, oh, it's better to farm this one over this one, but honestly, scrap that. Farm both of them at the same time, because if you get good drops in the Thundering Mephis, then you can just give that to your Zhang Li Yao. If you get good one in the Tempest Mephis whilst also farming for Yinlin's 4-cost Nightmare Echo, then you can just give that to Zhang Li Yao. So ignore whatever I said, that if it's like saying just ignore one of them, farm both of them. I think both of them are equally as important. And of course, because Tempest Mephis has 2 sets, it's going to be a lot more time consuming. I say costly, I mean time consuming, because you're going to spend a lot more longer time farming the Tempest Mephis compared to the other echoes, because it is going to require you to spend more time due to the 2 different sets available for that particular echo. Anyways, hopefully that explains it. Set you're looking for and the right stats and sub stats as well. So this is going to take you a freaking long time, just to let you know, okay? And as well as, I think actually one of the ones you don't necessarily have to farm is the Imperium, actually let's see, increases resonance. I don't think anyone really requires this right now, the Tide Breaking Courage. Oh, it's not this one actually, wait, give me a second. Sorry, this one, the Midnight Veil. So you don't necessarily have to farm this right now, because I don't think you necessarily need this for any of your other characters. So anyways, we're going to ignore that particular Nightmare Echo. Okay, so like I said, this one is also very important to farm. It will take you a longer time though to get the right set you're looking for. Now, when it comes to the Inferno Rider, because we don't really have a good team for Changli, and Encore is good, but I don't think many people are running her. Well, actually, free-to-play players are probably going to be using Encore because she's actually very, very good, very strong. Because I have a lot of DPSs, I don't use Encore. She's right here just sitting. I haven't built her properly. But if you're a free-to-play player and you are using Encore and you're using Changli as well, then of course the Inferno Rider is going to be your priority. Personally, for me, out of all the DPSs, these 2 are not my main priority, or I don't think are under the tier of like, oh, priority list, my priority list of 3 hours. Leave me alone, bro. Okay, so again, Camellia's one, in my opinion, simply the most important, followed by either your own decision with Jian, Zhang Li Yao's one. But if you are farming the Tempest Mephis, it will be good because you can get the echoes for both Yinlin and Zhang Li Yao by just farming one particular boss. Okay, now if you're all farming Thundering Mephis, then of course farm that one as well. It is actually going to be a good nightmare to fight as well. So yeah, there we go with my own take on the most important nightmare echoes you should be fighting. Also use this trick because this has actually worked for me, so I have been able to get 2 out of the 3 that I wanted. Now I'm putting all my attention in pretty much only this one. Actually no, I'm farming both the Tempest Mephis and the Thundering Mephis now, because I don't need to farm the other 2. So I need to put in another echo that I need to farm. So I guess the one I'm going to farm now is also going to be this, even though I'm not going to be using it for any character, because I don't actually know. Wait a minute. Actually, I don't need that. I don't really need that. Let me quickly take a look at Motive, because let me see what set he's running right now for me. He's running this. Okay, he does not need it. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Most important echoes to farm. Let me know down in the comment section how your farming is going with the new nightmare sets, or nightmare echoes, sorry. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out.